Hello everyone, so I am Gaurav. I'm back again with another video. So today I had my IELTS exam, so you can see that I'm actually right now I am standing just in front of the IELTS center which is in Kolkata. So these are their banners and this is their main board, IDP IELTS. You can see, and that's the entrance. So I just had my speaking test here, and I'll tell you about my experience because क्या है कि मैं अगर बाहर जाऊँगा ना तो I'll forget, I mean, few points, so I don't want to miss out those points. So what happened, my speaking test was scheduled on 11:20 a.m. Okay, but the thing is, I reached here, I mean, almost 1 hour ago because I have traveled from my city to Kolkata all the way down. तो एक घंटे पहले ही आ गया था. So why I am telling you this, I'll tell you later. Then when I reached here, so that guard was sitting there in the reception. So he told me that give me your passport and put all of your I mean belongings like mobiles, smartwatches and wallets in the locker and put your bag inside that too. So I had to put all those things inside the locker, and I was only allowed to carry my passport inside the actual exam center, and then I was given an ID card which I didn't use. I mean that was for I mean only for show, and I could only take that key of that locker. So these are the three things I could only take inside my exam room. Then after a few minutes, before me the two candidates were having their speaking tests. So when their speaking test was done, then I was called, and then two ladies were sitting there and they did my registration thing. And first they took my passport. They saw all the details are matching or with my registration form with the of IELTS or not. Then uh, they took my passport and they were like matching my face like this. I mean they were holding my passport like that in here. Like let me show you. I have my passports. So this is my passport, right? So they were. I will not show the reverse side of it because here the passport number is written. They were. I'm seeing like this. This is the photo and this is the candidate. So they are matching my face like that, and I had this doubt. That's why I actually trimmed my beard, because if I grow my beard fully now, then I mean there are people. I mean there are, if a person doesn't know me, they will get confused, and this has happened to me earlier. So they did this thing. Then I had to sign on a paper. Then after that what happened is that lady took a picture using a DSLR camera of me. She had to click so many times, I don't know, I mean she was not pro or there were some technical glitch. So because of this that flat, my eyes got hurt. I mean almost 5 times they took a picture to get a clear one. So and that flash was very powerful, so I mean my eyes got hurt. And when I was sitting in the actual speaking test, now my this side of his eye was actually I was having some pain. So yeah, after this registration, that lady escorted me to a room where I was sitting alone, and they give me a paper where all the instructions are given that you will be given a headphone. Then if you have any doubts or if you are facing any technical issues, just raise your hand. We are monitoring you, through a CCTV camera. So we'll reach you and we'll solve your problem. And yeah, then I was sitting there. Then another candidate was having his speaking test. Then when his speaking test was done, then that lady escorted me again to the speaking test taking room. Okay, it was I think 5 by 6 room. That room size was only 5 by 6, and then that lady actually connected to the some portal, and there was one instructor or examiner sitting another side of the screen. So she told that we are about to begin, and this is the candidate code 50 whatever blah blah. Then the test ID is that and that. After that I sat on the chair, and that examiner started asking me questions. Before he started asking me, he he spoke about some general things like you are giving IELTS speaking test. This test has been recorded, and this is the candidate number. This is the examiner ID, and something about IDP and also. Then after that, my speaking began. For the first part, he asked me some general questions and like what's your name, then do you work or do you study, how you felt while working, and what are the experiences you still remember from that organization. These are the things. For the part 2, my topic was describe a time or describe experience of visiting a park recently. You have to say when did you go to the park, with whom you go, then what you did, explain something about that park. So these are the questions. So I was given 1 minute to make notes and 2 minutes to speak. As sorry, I had to stop the video because that guard came out and asked me to go inside because I had my LRW test after my speaking test. So yeah, let's talk about the part 2. I have noted down something. By the way, I am making this part of this video after 3 days, and today in the evening I got my IELTS results. So I'll be sharing my results with you after this video. Okay, anyways, so for the part 2, as I said, you will be given a cue card, but the cue card will be given on the laptop screen. I mean, the whole laptop screen will be immersed in that cue card. You will see all the questions like I mean, you have to speak on this topic and what you have to say. Those 3 or 4 points will be written on that thing, and for 1 minute that cue card will be visible on the whole screen. Now, after 1 minute, that instructor will tell you that yeah, your time is over. Now you can speak. And for the next 2 minutes, a small pop-up will be there in the screen. I mean, top right corner on the screen where you can see the instructor. So there you have to speak for 2 minutes on the given topics and whatever you have noted down in your scribble pad. Now, yeah, that's the part 2. Now let's talk about the part 3. Now, part 3, I got questions from related to the part 2 only. Like the questions were, as I said, my topic for the part 2 was describe a time when you visited a garden, okay, or park. So my follow-up questions were, are there any parks in your city? Then do you think it is necessary to have parks? Then when I answered that question, then he asked, why do you think so? Then I had to answer that too. Then what are the age groups that visits park in your city mostly? Then what are the activities do you think can visitors do in the park? So these are the questions, and they were really tough questions. I mean, the questions were getting really tough for me, and I had to think and answer. For me, the part 3 was quite tough, and I did well in part 1 and part 2, but somewhere I felt I performed average in part 3, I guess. Now, as soon as my speaking was over, I was given some half an hour because my speaking was over at around 12, 11:30, I guess, or no, not 11:30, 11:45. Okay, and I had my LRW from 1 p.m. But I had to go inside in with before 12:15 because of the, I mean, other formalities and all. So when my LRW started, first of all, let me tell you something that you will be taken to a examination hall where there will be a lot of computers and there will be desk, and on in your desk on the left hand side or on the right hand side there will be a passport holder where you have to keep your passport, then that locker key, then that what was the other thing, that ID card. Yeah, you have to keep those things, then you will sit. You will be provided with pen, pencil and eraser. Okay, and wait, let me tell you. Yeah, and another tag or label will be placed beside your desktop screen in which user ID and password will be written. it's not the same user ID or password you have created for your account. They will generate a new one, new user ID and password, which you will have to put in the uh, that examination time. So after putting this user ID and password, you will be able to give your exam. So and you will be given all the instructions, so don't get worried about it at all. And before you start each section of listening, like listening or sorry, listening, reading, and writing, you will be given a video. Okay, like uh, before you start each module, a video will be there, so you can play only once that video. In that video, you'll be given all the, I mean, small instruction about that section only. Like before listening, you will get one video, then before writing and reading also. And yeah, for listening and reading, you will be provided with a white paper. On the top of that paper, I mean, user ID, password, and candidate ID will be written, printed, and there will be a section called candidate's name that will be blank, that you have to write in your own handwriting. It may be uppercase letter, or you can write it in regular handwriting. And you have to write your name by your pen only. You cannot use pencil for that, but for other works you can use pencil or pen, I mean, as per your convenience. And for listening, uh, they were giving over the head earphones. And for my case, and for the other candidates too, and I think most probably in all the IELTS center, they give you Sony over the head headphones, Sony MDR XB4. Yeah, I actually saw that and marked that thing actually, and I'll be giving you the picture also. I mean, this is the headphone you will be given. So this is a really nice headphone. I mean, noise cancellation is there, sound quality is good, no issues at all. And uh, for my case, listening was really tough. I was very confident about listening, and I was less confident about reading and speaking. But on the contrary, I did well in reading only, but listening I performed, I mean, not that good actually. The listening was very tough. For the part one was really easy. Then for the part two and three and the later ones, it it was getting really tougher. I mean, the audio was very fast. The amount of paraphrasing was really getting harder and harder. And in the last part, no, I mean, I was not able to, I mean, catch up with their words and the questions. I mean, I have to listen to that audio, and I have to watch those questions also. And for the last part, the questions length was really long. I mean, options were, I mean, one liners or two liners, so I had to read a lot for the listening too. Yeah, that's all about listening. And let's move to the reading part, ALRW. Yeah, so reading was, I was very nervous at reading, because I think I practiced only 4 times or 3 times reading in my entire IELTS preparation. But as because I have read a lot English in my bachelor's, and after the bachelor's in my working days, and after my because of other few things also, I had to read a lot. So reading was, I mean, in my habit only. But the thing is, IELTS reading is different, right? So yeah, for the part one, again, reading was good, okay. But for the part two and part three, the paraphrasing again got harder. I mean, I don't know. I have practiced a lot, but in the examination center, I mean, the level was, I mean, something at different level. But in part two, no, I was really at C. Okay, I was not getting any idea about what to do. I mean, I can see that answer is written there, but I cannot see where is the answer exactly. So this will happen to you. But my suggestion is, what I did was, I actually calmed down myself. Then I started looking for the answer, and I used a technique called keyword highlighting technique. You must be knowing this thing. When you, I mean, skim through the passage, no, so there will be some adjectives, verbs, then proper nouns. You have to keep highlighting those. Even if you are giving it in pen and paper base, you have to highlight those keywords, so that when you are going to the answering the questions, so you can match those keywords with the questions. Okay, so use this technique. This will be a very good technique to use for reading. And yeah, I did this, and I actually calmed down myself, and then I started looking for the answer. Then I actually answered all the questions, and it went good. And my last module was writing. Now, as I said, for listening and reading, you will be given a white paper. After reading is over, they will ask you to stop, and they will take that white paper, and they'll give you another paper which will be yellow in color. And the same thing, user ID, password, candidate ID will be written, printed, and you have to write your name, candidate's name, in by pen. Okay. And I chose CBT for specifically for writing only, because my typing skill is good. I mean, it's almost 35 word per minute or 40. It's ranges about 35 to 40. I mean, it depends. I mean, how much I am practicing or how much I am busy with this typing and all. But my typing is good. I can type without uh, having a look at my keyboard, so I can type. I mean, even if you turn off the light, I can type. So that's how my typing skill is. That is the reason I chose typing, because in writing I had to use a lot of backspaces and all. I What I did, I'll tell you later. Let me tell you again. Yeah, for the task one, my topic was a line graph, and for task two, there's the essay I had to write, like, do you nowadays people think that students do well in school environment, and there are some people who thinks students should do on their own, so that they can get the knowledge properly. So what is your view? And describe the topic, so something like that. And I took 27 minutes for the task one and 33 minutes for task two. And for task one, I wrote 180 to 190 words, and for task two, I wrote 290 words. Uh, yeah. So again, for writing, as I was saying, that I have to use lot of backspaces and all, because I edit a lot. Edit a lot means a lot. Like, when I was writing, no, especially for the task two, I wrote a gist. Then I actually started building up on the topic. Then after finishing my task, I saw that I was having 321 words, I guess. So I had to cut down those numbers, because 321 is way too high, because 250 is the minimum. So up to 300 is good. Okay, so I actually edited some parts, and I mean, I was looking for how to short those line and all. So after doing that, I it came to 290 words. So yeah, that is what I did in writing. Now let's talk about my result. So I got my result today, and I scored 7 in listening, and 8 in reading, and 6 in writing, and 6 in speaking. So, and my overall band is 7, which is around C1 level proficiency. So I guess it is good to go for Germany. And yeah, I mean, for writing, I was expecting at least 6.5. I don't know. I mean, how I got 6, because I did really well, because I worked so hard in writing only. And speaking, I mean, you can judge my speaking skills, so I am not complaining about my speaking. So 6 is good, and 6.5 would have been better. But writing, I was expecting at least 6.5. And speaking and reading are up to my expectations. So yeah. And now I would like to give you some tips, like, these are based on my experience. So the first tips, which is really important, is do not think that I'll prepare for IELTS, then I'll book the slot. The same mistake I did. I was thinking that let me prepare myself, and when I will reach to a certain level, then only I'll decide about my IELTS test date, and then only I'll book the test. So, but this is a really really bad idea. Do not do this, because this kind of preparation is never going to be perfect. So you are never going to score 9 out of 9. So I mean, let's just see your cutoff, what you need. Say 7.5 is, I would suggest you must target for 7.5. Then you book the slot. At least have 30 days in your hand. Then you book the slot, because after booking the slot, you will be given a IDP IELTS book by Burlington English. So you will have some time to go through all the whole book. But as I booked before 10 days only, because I was thinking that yeah, I'll book later. Then it was getting late, so I had to book it. So when I booked, it was, I mean, 10 days ago when I booked my slot. So after 3 days, I got my book, and I had only 6 days in my hand to prepare, because I had to travel to Kolkata because I had less time. So again, after cutting down 1 2 more days, I had only 6 to 5 days. So I actually couldn't read that book well. So I'd like to suggest that do not do this mistake that I did. Now, start reading some vocabularies, read some newspaper, not newspaper, I mean, you have apps in your mobile, so you can read some articles and start noting those vocabularies, because in in the writing section and in the speaking section, you have to use uh, paraphrasing, and you have to use a lot of synonyms of a given word. So uh, you cannot repeat a word again and again, so it will decrease your pen. And I think that is why I got less in speaking. I In part 3 I was repeating a word many multiple times. And if you are giving computer based test, and I would highly recommend giving computer based test over pen and paper, because pen and paper I don't think really much comfortable, and it takes a lot of time to the for the result to come. And if you give computer based exam, no, so it is really easy. Do not uh, get worried about it. It's really easy. If I can do it, you can also do it. So, and yeah, if you're aiming for CBT, then you must start I mean, practicing typing, because in exam center you will not have the time to watch your keyboard, then type, then watch your screen, so you will never have that time. So you must have some good typing skills. So start typing. It takes, I mean, almost 7 days. So whenever you are giving your mocks in computer for writing, so you can start doing that thing only, because in a mock test you will have to give it on desktop or computer, I mean, whatever you choose for pen and paper or CBT. So do that. And for I mean, materials, I would like to suggest that E2 IELTS and IELTS list. So these two channels are really helpful. You can refer to those videos. And for listening, just type on YouTube that IELTS listening test. So you will get a lot of videos, and click on that, and you start practicing from that. And reading, I would like to suggest refer to Cambridge books only. And if you need any kind of help or any kind of other suggestions, please do reach me out to my Instagram. Follow me, and I'll be coming up with the more, I mean, useful and informative videos like this. And I hope it will help you going to Germany. And